Hey guys, what is up? It's Bibs7 here again, back on old school RuneScape. This is not going to be a progress video, of course, because I did just make one earlier today. I'm going to be talking about the Rejuvenating the Wilderness development blogs that they've released in the past few days, and I'm just going to go over my opinions on what they're proposing on introducing and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they have a lot of really good ideas here, and only a few that a snapdragon seed, nice, but only a few that I would not like to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. I read the whole thing. I just wanted to look at it to be able to read and remember everything that they are introducing. So let's see. They have this map that they have of all the things that they are potentially going to add, and one of the things that is an idea is they might make every green dragon killing area multi-way combat, and for this one I would vote no, because I think that is a bit much. I mean, maybe, let me look here. There's the slashes are where there's going to be new multi. Oh, this map doesn't have it. Well, the last map on the last development blog, all the green dragon areas were slashed out with the new multi-combat area. This map doesn't have any, so maybe people argued against that and didn't want it. But I know that that was one of the things they proposed, and if that is pulled, I would say definitely not for that, because that would be a bit ridiculous. Maybe make some of the deep wild ones be multi, or maybe just the one that's not in deep wild. I'm not sure which way would be better, but I'd definitely vote no for that one, so I think that's one of the bad ideas that they had. Now they have this thing about monsters, where they're going to add a bunch of things that have high HP but low defense, like rock crabs, into the wilderness, which is an interesting idea. I mean, I guess that'd be okay. But they wouldn't be rock crabs, they'd be like rock crabs, like they said Chaos Druids was an example. I think things like that would be good, because they wouldn't be there just for training. Like if they had potential decent drops but not too good, I mean, like Chaos Druids are a perfect example of that. They have decent drops of herbs but not too good, and if their HP was a bit higher and it took like a tad bit longer to kill them when you're in the wilderness, I think those could be a good addition for people looking to train there, as well as make a little bit of extra money on the side. So I think that's a decent idea. And then they have these new bosses that they're planning on introducing, and there's 3 of them, I think. There's a big spider, a skeletal warlord, I think they called it, and one other thing, a wandering bear. So those sound pretty cool, and they're going to be dropping the dragon pickaxe, which I think is a cool idea. That they're introducing that'll be nice for people who are mining, although to be honest, at high mining levels, when you're doing mining for experience, because there's no resource dungeons on here, I mean, no, not resource dungeons, resource deposits on here like there are on RS3, you don't really need a dragon pickaxe for power training mining, so it would only be used for, I'd say, mining runite armor, not armor, ore. So I still think it's a good idea. It's just probably going to be less useful than it is in RS3, if you ask me. So yeah, those sound cool. All those bosses sound cool, and they're also going to add it to the Castle Mental and the King Black Dragon. So I think that's a cool one. Next up, they are talking about 3 demi bosses, which are vulnerable to a different attack style each. Like one's going to be vulnerable to magic, one's going to be vulnerable to melee, and one's going to be vulnerable to ranged. And they're each going to drop parts of 2 new shields that they're going to be introducing, and they're pretty much mage and range versions of the Tok Ketzil shield, which they look exactly like it. They're just recolored versions, which I think is a bit lazy on their part. I mean, I think it would have been nice to see a little bit of a distinction between the shields besides just the coloring, but I mean, it's fine, I guess. I'm not really going to complain too much about it, but I think it would have been nice to see a bit of a change other than the color. But as far as the stats go, they look pretty decent for what the shields are meant to do. Like the magic one is very defensive against melee and mage, but is not defensive at all against range. So it makes sense for that shield to be oriented to magic, because magic's supposed to be weak to range. Same with the range shield. It's very defensive against magic and range, but not really defensive against melee at all, because range is supposed to be weak to melee. So that makes sense, and they're supposed to be mid-level, which is pretty good. So yeah, I think that's a pretty nice addition. Next thing that they are talking about is the resource updates they could add into the wilderness, and I think these are overall pretty cool. A lot of these are sound real nice that they could add. There's these things called Ents, which are going to be a new monster, and you can go in the wilderness and kill it, and then it'll lie on the floor, similar to the way that living rock creatures do on RS3, and you'll be able to use your hatchet on it, and it will it will give you up to logs up to the highest level that your woodcutting level allows you to chop. So say you had 60 woodcutting, you'd get all different types of logs up to U logs, and they'd be in node form. So it'd be a pretty cool way to make money, and anyone that comes and kills you is going to get the noted logs, because you're going to be, the person there is going to be collecting them, and it could help bring a lot more activity into the wilderness for skillers. Just got 55 defense, by the way, pretty nice, and 82 combat as well. Anyways, moving on. So I think that one's pretty cool. The next one is there's going to be some new fish added into the game, which heals 22 HP. I think that is a cool idea. It's like kind of a replacement for rocktails, and they're going to have them obtainable in the same way rocktails are. The bait's going to only be available from killing zombies that are going to be in the wilderness as well. So you'd have to kill the zombies. That's one way of making money, and then you could sell the bait that you get, and then if you buy bait, you can go and do the fishing in the wilderness. But everything is going to be in the wilderness, so it'll be a lot more attention there, because that's going to be the only place you can get these new fish, and a lot of people are going to be wanting them because they're the best food in the game. So people are going to be wanting them for their God Wars trips or their PKing adventures in the deep wilds. So they're going to be pretty valuable, I think, and the spots are probably going to be pretty heavily occupied by PKers, because they're going to be trying to get either the bait or the fish themselves, and it'll be a pretty active area. I think that's going to be one of the most active after this update, if it all goes through. So that sounds like a good one to me as well. Next one, red chinchompas. They're going to also potentially be adding a spot for red chins. I think they said near where the moss giants are in the middle of the wild. If I'm not... Oh, they don't say exactly. But it's going to be a spot in the wilderness, and people might think, like, why would you go in the wilderness while there's red chinchompas right in Feldup Hills that you can just go catch on your own instead. This place will allow you to place one extra box trap than you would normally be able to. So if you're not 80 hunter yet, then you can place 5 box traps, and if you're above 80, I assume you can place 6. So that'll help you get more chinchompas at once. And as it is, if someone is killed while holding chinchompas in the wilderness right now, they will just run away and you won't get them. But they're going to change that with this update, allowing you to PK people for their chinchompas, and you will receive them in the loot. So it sounds like a cool one, although I don't see many people going there, because I can't imagine it'll be that big of a difference with 5 to 6 box traps. But we'll see. It could actually help a lot. Next up, there's this resource area. I think this one sounds pretty cool, because there's going to be magic trees, ores, and fishing spots in an area that's fenced off in the wilderness, and it's going to be guarded by a golem, and you have to pay him a certain amount of GP to get in. So people that are PKing can't just walk in and kill you. But there's nothing stopping from those PKers from just paying the golem themselves and then walking and killing you. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. Although one thing that they definitely have to add to that is they have to make it so you can't log out while you're in the resource area, because then if someone sees a PKer coming up and then they're about a clue scroll, fuck yeah. But if they see a PKer coming up who's about to come in and try and kill them, they'll just log out, and the PKer won't be able to get them in time. So that's probably something they need to look at doing. But other than that, I think it sounds cool. Next, they're going to be making it so that while standing inside the demon, what's it called? The demonic ruins in the deep wilderness, I think it's the northeastern deep wilderness, your prayer is going to slowly recharge. So this is a pretty cool thing for big team fights, because whoever controls the demonic wilderness is going to have a big advantage. The demonic ruins is going to have a big advantage over the other team because they're going to have that prayer recharge ability. So that sounds kind of cool, although it's not something I'd be interested in because I've never really been a big clan person or a big team fighter or anything like that. But I know a lot of people are, so I think that'd be a pretty cool one, and I'd definitely vote for that to be put through. Last one for this section is thieving chests. They're going to be adding high-level thieving chests to... Whoops, that was an accident. To the Rogue's Castle in the wilderness, right up near where the chaos elemental is, and they're going to give you noted loot. So I think this is a pretty cool one as well because it could get you a lot of like gems and stuff like that, I'd assume is what it's going to be giving out for loot. And a lot of people will probably want to go there for that loot as long as you got to be a high thieving level. And then people who want to PK you for that loot are going to come along and try and kill you. So that's going to be kind of interesting, and it'll also be interesting to see how the Chaos Elemental clashes with that and makes it either more easy or difficult for people to do it or PK there. So yeah, that's all the basic upgrade is, and I think most of it sounds pretty good. There's a few that I mentioned that you either need some small tweaks or shouldn't go through at all, but other than that, they sound pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to this poll. The official poll should come out next week, I believe, but it's not. This isn't actually the poll. This is just to get you thinking about what you want to vote for. So I'm just giving you guys my opinions. Maybe if you were on the fence about something I say will help you decide or something like that. But yeah, that's just what this video is all for. Next is other changes to the wilderness. First off are non-tradable items. If you guys remember when the wilderness came back, they took away Bounty Hunter in RS3, they made it so that tradable items such as the Fighter Torso, the Fire Cape, Barrels Gloves, Skill Capes, stuff like that, they would turn to coins when you killed someone for them. And at first people didn't really like that system, but as it is now, a lot of people would like that to come in to the game. One thing I'd be rather annoyed by is Rune Defenders, but I mean I'll get over it. But yeah, so people would want this to be coming in to make their things turn to gold, so people can't just come out with a Fighter Torso, a Fire Cape, a Rune Defender, a Whip, Rune Legs, and a Glory, and a Fighter Hat, and then like climbing boots and Barrels Gloves, and then just fights, because they'd only be risking Rune Plate Legs and a Glory, and have a lot of, like, the gear they have is very strong and overpowered. So I think it would be a good update to add to the wild if they would turn them into coins. It just depends how many coins. Like if it's too many coins, then it wouldn't be a very good system because it'll be adding too much GP into the game. I think the main focus shouldn't be for people who are killing those people to get profit, but for the people who are dying to lose their items. I don't think the focus should be for the people killing them, because just the fact that the people who are dying will lose their items should be enough for people to not even try and do that in the wilderness. So maybe like 10k per item or something like that. Nothing too big though, for sure. I would definitely want it to be a smaller amount. Alright, moving on. This is a very important update for the new wilderness propositions, because you're thinking you go out and you kill a bunch of those skillers or kill whoever and just try and get them to drop their loot, and of course you're going to be wanting to pick up what they drop. Like you kill someone for a bunch of those high level fish, if they're probably going to be worth a good like 3 to 5k each, so you're going to want to pick those up. But you don't want to have to eat up all your food and be risking your stuff that you're wearing because you don't have any real food on you to be able to pick up that loot. So they're going to be adding this thing called the looting bag. They had previously thought of calling it the swag bag. They're not really sure on the name yet, but whatever they end up calling it, it's going to be able to hold items in it. So things like the resources you PK from random people who are skilling in the wild, and the even I think it'll even hold like larger things like room plate bodies and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be good for the people who are PKing those people because it can hold their items, but it can only be emptied at a bank, which I think is important because if not, it could just be used like a summoning familiar, which would be kind of defeat the purpose of it. So, I mean, it would kind of defeat the purpose of 07 if we had like summoning familiars. So, I think that's a very important update because if they don't add that, then people who would normally have wanted to go PKing with these new updates are not gonna be able to, because there's really no point in killing someone for a full inventory of new fish if you don't have any way to pick them up and bring them back to your bank with you. So that's definitely an important thing that needs to be put in. Next up, they're going to be adding a lever to Edgeville that'll let you pull, and you can go to the deserted keep. I think this is a no-brainer. Definitely, like, why not add it? It'd be a lot more convenient than the Arty one. So hopefully they add that one. Anti-griefing mechanics. I'm 100% sure this will go through. It's just a bunch of stuff to stop people from being really annoying pricks in the wilderness, as a lot of people have been doing lately. So, yeah, there's not really much to say about that. It's just like an anti-griefing thing. So definitely that should be added. So yeah, that's the end of that section, I believe. And the last one is individual wilderness update options. So they want to know if they should stop players from teleporting out of the KBD layer. This could go either way. I'm not really sure if it's fair to people who are just killing the KBD, because they're just going to be killing it and trying to get their loot. And then, like, if they want to get out with their loot, they're going to have to go back through the wilderness to get out. So I don't really know if that's fair for them, but I think it would definitely be good to stop people who are getting killed from teleporting out, because I think it's kind of not fair that they can do that as is, because I don't know, I just think that is something that should be stopped, because like they can just run to the KBD layer and just tele out easily and not have any risk of dying and losing their stuff. So yeah, that's one thing that could go either way, because it's not fair for some people, but it is important for other people. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm probably gonna vote yes for that one, because I wouldn't want it to change the way PKing happened, because it would definitely make it easier for skillers to get out of the wilderness that way. So I think I would vote yes for that one, but we'll see. I think maybe if there was another way for the killers of the KBD to get out of the cage, and then the skillers, like, or people who are dying can't get in and get out easily. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that one yet. Rune rocks. This one, I don't think should be added. The aggressive monsters in the ice plateau means adding some rune rocks that would encourage rune miners to bring armor and weapons. No, this is a bad one. If you want this to happen, why can't they just add monsters to the rune rocks that are already there? I think adding more rune rocks would not be a good idea, because there's already the 2 in the wilderness, so we don't need more. But they could add aggressive monsters to the rune rocks that are already in existence. But I think adding 3 more rune rocks would be kind of a bad idea. So I just think that's a bad one. Just not a good idea in my opinion. This one also sounds kind of stupid, mainly because you don't get any XP for the spells you use, because it's kind of a ridiculous idea. Why would anyone really want to go here if you don't get any XP? The main reason people cast spells is for XP, not for profit or anything like that. So I'd be surprised if this one went through. I mean, maybe it will, because people think it sounds cool, but I don't think it'll be very cool in execution. Remove the wilderness ditch. I don't really care about this. Honestly, this one I don't care. So sure, if people want to remove it, go ahead. If they don't, fine. I don't care. No opinion. I think this one sounds very cool. They would add a little crevice or dungeon sort of place, kind of like the Revenant dungeon, where AVNCs would be, or like a bunch of God Wars creatures, I think, would be coming up out of the God Wars dungeon through a crack or something, and the AVNCs there would drop noted adamant bars, so people would be wanting to go there to make money off those, and then it could be a good place for people to PK. Sounds cool, definitely add this one. Kill statistics, why not add it? If people want to know how many times they've died and been killed, go ahead. I think that's a cool one. Lava dragons. This one sounds pretty cool as well. They'll change the red dragons to lava dragons in the wilderness, and they'll drop new bones that'll give you more XP than dragon bones. And they'll also have a slight chance to drop the Visage. I think this one sounds pretty awesome, so I would definitely vote yes for this one. This one I definitely think should be added as well. Should you be able to interrupt single-way combat? Should you be able to interrupt a player versus an NPC in single-way combat area by attacking the player? Definitely yes. I think that would be very good. It would make the wilderness a lot more dangerous and a lot harder for people to get away from you. And I think it'd be very good to add this because of all the new monsters that are being added into the wilderness. For people are going to want to be killing them, so people should be able to attack the people who are killing them even while they're in combat with them. Limiting the worlds, I think this is a pretty good one. I mean, they definitely should reduce the worlds because there's too many as it is, and there's just like not enough people on each world. So I think reducing the worlds by 10 would be good. Dropping tradable items. This one definitely should be added. Has always been this way on RS3. They should when a player drops a tradable item, it should appear instantly on the ground for everybody, because as people have been doing it these days, if you're at Mage Bank, you can simply drop your whip or whatever you're about to lose and then run back and pick it up before it shows up for anyone else. So I think this should definitely be put through. Other questions here. This one sounds, this whole thing about the Kraken and the new staff with a built-in spell, this sounds very similar to the Polypore staff, but they say it might be, it might just end up being monster, like you can only use it against monsters. I'm not so sure about this one. I don't really have a solid opinion yet. It depends really on what it ends up being like, but I think it sounds a lot like the Polypore staff, and that was pretty overpowered when it came out. So we'll see. It depends really how it ends up panning out. I'm not really sure about this one, but it sounds kind of interesting. It's a cool like concept, but it might be a little bit overpowered. But we'll have to see. It's definitely something that might be able to bring Magic in line with the other two combat styles, though. So it might be a good update. Definitely yes. Protect Bandos over Crystal and Barrow's equipment. I'd say definitely yes on that. Please, God, yes. Oh, my God. Add a level 10 agility shortcut to go from Varrock's West Bank to the Spirit Tree. Yes, oh, my God. I would love that. It's such a pain having to walk all the way fucking around Varrock just to get to the Spirit Tree. So, yes, 100% fucking... If you vote no for this, then you are the worst kind of person ever. Yes. Oh, my God, please. Just add that. Yes. And next. Yes, Run Energy should be able to... These buttons should have functions. At the very least, the Run Energy button should work. And the Cure button should work if you want. I mean, that does not that big a deal, but yeah, that could be cool. And Quick Prayers, I think, should be added, but they don't really have to be. I wouldn't be mad if they weren't, but I'm going to vote yes. I think there would be a good update. Some people might not, so I'm voting yes for that, but I wouldn't really be mad if they didn't go through. Don't care about minigame teleports. Do what you want. Yes. Oh my God. Why haven't they added this next one into RS3? What are they doing? Should the God Wars dungeon altars give a message stating how long you'll be able to next use them? Yes. God, please. This is like, wow. How has it taken you this long to realize that is what everybody wants? Because you never, like, it feels like it's been 40 minutes, but it still says you can't use the altar. Like, what? How are you supposed to keep track? It should definitely tell you when you could next use it. That would be fantastic. You click on it, you cannot use the altar for another 2 minutes. Boom! Problem solved. Yes, for sure, add that. Definitely. If you're in a clan chat channel when you log out, should you be able to rejoin it and automatically on login? Yes, I thought they already added this, but I guess not, so definitely add that. That'd be very helpful, so you don't have to join it every time you log in, because you might just forget, like I do all the time. Should you have the option to pay some Slayer points to unlock Mithril Dragons as a task? Hell to the yes, that would be fantastic. Mithril Dragons would be a great task and really fun to do. I think that'd be nice. And if you don't want them, you don't have to buy them. Same thing with the next one, Avian Seas, definitely. And that'll be very good to coincide with the new one in the the new dungeon in the wilderness. So you can go there and kill them for extra profit and Slayer XP. Yes, for those two. Definitely add new channels to the minigame grouping panel for finding quest members, God Wars Dungeon, and Waterbirth Island parties. That'd be fantastic, especially the Waterbirth Island one. If you're going to solo DKs, you want a door partner, it'd be very useful to have that. So yeah, I'd say yes. Should we add loot broadcast to the Calfight Queen, King, Black Dragon, Dagonoth Kings, and the Cast Elemental? For sure, yes. People can lie easily about their drops, and it can get annoying and make people kind of angry if they think that the other player in the room got a drop, but they really didn't. So yes, definitely add those. They're very nice. Watered saplings, should they have a W appended to their names? I guess. They already stack differently in the bank, so I don't see the problem there, but if you want them, go ahead. Should the total level box in the stats interface have a tooltip that shows your total XP? Sure, why not? That'd be kind of cool. Should we add 24 more bank spaces to everyone's bank? Fucking yes, please do. This is a very important, considering all the new items that are going to be coming into the game with this new update. With these new updates, we're going to need the extra bank space. So yeah, those are my opinions on these new updates. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your opinions on these updates down in the comments below, and get ready for the poll next week. This is not the poll. This is just for what you should think about, and think about what you want to vote for next week. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Like if you've enjoyed, subscribe for future videos, and I'm actually going to put the loot for this clue at the end of the video, so I'll see you guys there before I end it off. Arrow, we got a Zami page 3. I didn't think this was going to be the loot, but I did end up getting it, and that's Zami page 3. Very nice. That's about 500k. And a bunch of other junk that I don't want or care about, but yeah. Very nice. Zami page 3. Second Zami page I've had from a clue, actually. But yeah, that's some good profit. That's like getting a black mask, even though, let's go check real quick. Just run over to the bank. Run over to the bankies. And look. Check my Slayer gem log. 2001. I've killed 2001 cave horrors, and I've had one black mask. What kind of bullshit is that? But yeah. Zami page 3, I will take that. But other than that, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Like and if you did, subscribe for your videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.